Hey guys, Rebecca Tabbert here, Fit Body Bootcamp Redlands and Calamasa, and I want to take a quick minute to talk to you about something that I don't talk a lot about, and that is the power of our brain. And I'm going to make it super simple for you, but what I am doing right now is I'm taking a course on neuroscience made simple, basically. The course is called Brain Hack. It's by someone who is just really well known as a life coach and for her expertise in really helping people change habits and change, even get rid of fears and all this, because so much of what we do is driven internally. So I know that I don't want to just give you this fantastic physical place to work out at. I know that we have the best workouts. I know we have an amazing team. We work really hard at creating that family feeling, and I know that our members experience that, and that's fantastic. But even with our members that are with us every day, and my coaches can only do so much. We have 30 minutes to an hour of your time in a day, and you've got another 23 and a half to 23 hours in your day where you're completely functioning on your own, and that drives what you're able to put forth in your overall effort in terms of being fit from the inside out. And one of the things that I'm taking away from this course is the importance of caring for our brain. Sounds kind of crazy. It's absolutely the last thing you think of, right? But our brain, one of the key components is called the limbic system. And bottom line is, what you need to know and what's important for you to understand is that system actually cares and controls a lot of different functions, but one of them being our appetite, our mood, our energy, whether or not we have drive or if we just feel kind of defeated, our level of depression, our ability to connect and have relationships with other people. It's really crazy, but I'm gonna make it really simple for you, as is my coaches for me. The key behind this is that an overactive limbic system causes us to shut down and causes us to have problems and be unhealthy in those areas, which then obviously affects other aspects of our life, whether that be with the relationships in your home or your work relationships, whether that be with your energy, your state of mind, or even your health and fitness and the choices you make and the food choices you make, in your ability to stay focused or maybe insatiable cravings. All of that can be directly driven by this limbic system. So there's a couple very simple takeaways that you can do and be more mindful of in your everyday life that are going to help you get better results. It's going to help you have greater joy, which we all want, right? But also help you get better results from a fitness standpoint. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, and I'm going to adjust this really quickly so that I can make sure I give you all the key points of what I want to talk about. So one, how do we make this limbic system healthy, or what do we do to try and make sure we're at our best? And one of the things, before I tell you even that, important to note is that women actually have a larger limbic system, which explains why we tend to have more struggles when it comes to feelings and emotions, where we have a greater ability than men for the most part to be connected and have those bonds and that kind of thing with people. We're more relationally built. But that adverse effect of that is that it also makes us more susceptible to depression and all those hormonal shifts that we experience and all that good stuff. So you can kind of see how it's all balancing out, right? So one of the key things to keep in mind in making sure that you're healthy, and I love Anna's, my coach's example, she calls it ants. And what she is saying is any negative thoughts. We talk about that all the time in my program and my coaching, to become aware of your thoughts, become aware of the negative thoughts that you are thinking throughout the day. And the awareness of them is the first step to calming your limbic system and to giving you greater peace, greater joy, which allows you to make better decisions and have better results. And so we always talk about the power of I am. The power of I am is something that I'm sure I got from somewhere down the line. But it's just something that I've used, a tool that I've used for many years now to help recreate and fight against those negative thoughts. So write down 6 to 8 positive, or 6 to 10 positive I am statements. I am strong, I am beautiful, I am confident. You may not think those things today, but it's important that you write out what you want to be, what you want to believe about yourself, so that when the negative thoughts come, you can actually combat them with, nope, I'm not going to accept that thought. Because you may not control what thought comes to you, but you control what you do with it. So when a negative thought comes to mind, you catch it, you become more aware and say, nope, that's not true. I am, and go to your list of I am statements. It's a super powerful tool that has worked with me over the years to get rid of a lot of stinking thinking and get me to where I am now, just in terms of confidence and strength from the inside out. And one of the great things that I took away from Anna and one of our coaching calls is she also uses, and I've heard Tony Robbins talk about this too, physically thinking about the negative thought and sweeping it, like when you get the thought, think about some sort of action that's, like Anna says, sweeping it away. So like you're sweeping it out of your brain. It sounds a little kooky, but it works really well. Anthony Robbins talks about using a slingshot and just pulling that thought back and slingshotting it way out of your mind. And so those are a couple of techniques that I learned along the way as well from them to add to it. The other thing is to question your negative thoughts. So when you're stuck on a negative thought, as you're realizing what it is and as you're becoming more aware of it, is it really true? Like sometimes you can do the I am statements and you still kind of keep coming back to that thought. So maybe it's like when it comes to weight loss, if you think you can't lose the 50 pounds, you probably can't. If you think you can't get through, like we love to do challenge mud runs and stuff like that with our group, if you feel like you can't get through it, like you won't be able to make it, like you're not strong enough, you probably won't. Not because you're not capable, but because you don't believe in yourself. The power of our mind and our belief system is beyond anything I can possibly express to you in words. Just look at all the amazing stories online that these people overcome amazing physical feats and what would be a disability for other people, and they overcome them and they conquer them because their mind was strong, because they told themselves they could do it. They told themselves that they would not be a statistic, and that's what made the difference. And when the same comes true in our everyday life, in order for me to truly, and my team, and truly be able to help you lose that weight and meet your goals, you have to believe in yourself too. We can believe in you and we'll support and we'll encourage you, and that will work for a period of time, but you're always going to rubber band yourself back if you don't start believing in yourself. Make sense? So when you have a negative thought, sometimes it's like, I'll never be skinny again. Never mind, I hate that word, scratch that. But I'll never be, like, what I was thinking of is I hear a lot of times people will like moms will say, I'll never get back to my pre-pregnancy weight, or I'll never get back to my high school weight, or whatever that might be. That's not true. Unless you were unhealthy back then, there's no reason why you can't. Everything is possible. I don't care if you've had 5 kids. I don't care if you've been out of shape for 10 years. I don't care if you've been overweight your entire life. You can absolutely do anything you want to do with the right tools, resources, and support. But you also have to have the right mindset, okay? So that's the second thing. The third thing is your mind goes where you send it. So whatever you focus on, whatever you surround yourself with, that's where your mind's going to go. So you want to support yourself by surrounding yourself with positive, like-minded people that are going to encourage your goals. That's why one of the main things that we work really hard in with our Fit Body Boot Camp, Redlands and Calamasa, and I'm really, really blessed to have great feedback from clients and know that they feel like they're cared for and they're supportive, and we work really hard. We actually will fire clients if we need to. If you can't get rid of the stinking thinking, and if you're complaining in camp, that's not the place for it. We all have bad days, but I'm talking about there's a difference between having a bad day and needing someone to just listen to you versus like just that constant like negativity. That's not a personality we want to be around, right? We want to encourage and uplift people. And so you need to get with that group and you need to be around that. And of course, our 6-week challenge, that's one of the greatest reasons why people have such amazing results, is because you've got a very small group of people with a common goal that are super focused and highly energized to support and motivate each other. Because let's face it, a lot of times we don't have that type of support and positive energy in our immediate circle for the fitness piece of it. Because if 9 times out of 10, no disrespect, but 9 times out of 10, if the people around us are super fit and healthy and on the right track, we are too. So it's hard to be that exception, and you can be that exception, but you've got to find an outlet. You know, the person with us isn't meant to meet every need. Like our spouses or our boyfriends or girlfriends or whatever, they're not meant to meet every need in our life, and that's okay. But you do need to find people that will support you in that way, which is just the same reason why people hire coaches and get with a good supportive accountability or support group, depending on which direction you want to go, or the support group that's applicable for which direction you want to go. That's why Alcoholics Anonymous and all those other programs are so successful, because they show up, they have each other, they're accountable to each other. It's never ending. Right? And that's why they're so successful, and they're able to really change and transform their lives from a different aspect. Same thing with fitness. You got to get in that program that's going to have people to keep you accountable and know that whether or not you're there, and have you show up so that you can get yourself to the right place. The other thing to think about in terms of where your mind goes is thinking about, and this is one of my coach's suggestions, Anna, which I thought was brilliant, I want to share with you. Think about a few, she actually recommended 10, but just even if you start with 5, events in your life where you were super, super happy. So maybe if you have kids, that was, I don't know if the actual giving birth part is actually a happy event. It wasn't for me, but seeing him afterwards was, right? And, once I felt okay. But whatever that happy event is for you, your wedding day, maybe it was a huge accomplishment, like, finishing a race, or when you got your degree, when you finally got to walk down the podium after 4 years of college, or for some of you it's 6 and 8 years in college. I know we have a lot of nurses and doctors. So whatever it is, write down those moments in detail and in present tense, so that when you are in a funky mood and you're just kind of like feel heavy, you can refer back to one of those moments, and that will actually cool down that limbic system that controls that mood and that depression and all that good stuff. And so it literally helps your body respond with feel-good hormones as if you're there again. So I thought that was a really cool idea, and I know I'm going to plan on doing it. The other thing was really cool, get touchy-feely, which so much emotion is put behind just physical touch. So if you, I don't recommend to go physically start touching a bunch of strangers. That's not what this is about, all right? But the people that you love, the people that you know, the people in boot camp, put your arm on your hand on their shoulder. It's going to help you, and it's going to help them. People are super responsive to touch, and whether you realize it or not, that also is helping cool that limbic system, which is basically all that means is that's going to help release feel-good hormones that are going to help you feel better, have more energy, clearer mind, better focus, you're going to sleep better. Crazy, right? All of this is affected by that. And then another suggestion is getting out and get going. So physical exercise. Physical exercise, we've talked about this before, and I know you know this, but a good reminder, physical exercise releases all these natural feel-good hormones. So people do a lot of crazy stuff to get that feeling. And here it is, you can get in a good workout and feel good and have that natural high for a long time after. And the whole thing with physical workouts, and even within our program, you want to feel good when you're done. And make sure you find that balance. You don't want to just have that become your crutch too, where you're training so hard all the time that you're burnt out and you're kind of tired. You want to be able to get in, get your workout in, work really, really hard, and feel energized from it. And then the last component, the last takeaway is fueling your body. And that means fueling your body with the proper foods, the right balance of proteins, the right balance of good carbohydrates, and the right balance of healthy fats. So healthy fats you can find in some fishes are good, like salmons, but also in coconut oil, avocados, Almond butter, if you can have it in moderation and not get carried away with it, or any kind of nut butter. Good protein sources are going to be lean red meats, obviously fish, chicken. Bison is a great lean red meat, and I was so excited to find it at Stater's last week. And then complex carbs. Complex carbs drive your brain fuel, literally. When we, like so many of us have spent so much time going through really deprivation diets and I've been there in the past too, but it's been a long time since I've been there. And deprivation diets would be like super low carbs where you're just not allowing your body to get that energy. And the reality is carbs fuel your brain, your mind, your body. And so you have to have that energy source. And good carbs are things or complex carbs are things like oatmeal, yams, quinoa. Ezekiel bread is one that I use and prefer for a carb source if I really feel like I need some sort of bread substance. So those are some things to think about in the way you want to fuel your body. The other thing is the water. Water is critical. You need to be drinking enough water to sustain your activity. And some research now says that it's 1.5 liters to 2 liters per 50 pounds of body weight, and that's for an average pretty inactive person. So you can do the math and you can figure it out, but there's all kinds of calculators out there. Personally, I drink at least 1 gallon a day. I do work out quite a bit, but I do feel like you need to be able to make sure that you're getting enough water in, not just because it's hot out, but 24/7 all year round, because water is key to fueling your brain, key resource for your body, for just overall body functions, and helps flush everything out. So I hope those tips were helpful. Again, these tips are all just to help you get a better, healthier mind, so that you can make better decisions, so you can sleep better, so you can have better moods, so that you can truly feel good again, and so that you can have enough confidence and enough faith and enough strength and build a belief system that allows you to truly accomplish anything you set your mind to. And of course, you want to get with the right system. So we do have our 6-week program coming up, and we have just a couple spaces left at this point, but you can fill out an application, and we would love to have you be a part of that, and give you that support system and the nutrition and the accountability that we know will take you to the next level, as long as you have the belief. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.